I spent 6 months in pure solitude. I dropped out. I cut off all my bad friends. I stopped working like a physical job and stuff like that. So of course I still went to kickboxing, and I still, I don't know, sometimes saw a couple of people or stuff like that, but most of the time was pure solitude. And I learned a lot about I just learned a lot about this. So, for example, when I dropped out of school, right, school was just over last year, and I had the choice to go to university, or I don't know what you call it in England, but I think it's university. But I had the choice to go like to another school, right? Um, this is what all my friends were doing and stuff like that. But I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to a university or stuff like that. I want to become an entrepreneur, right? And if you want to become an entrepreneur, I'm not going to learn business from broke teachers. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is the point? So I dropped out. All my friends are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Blah blah. All asking me like, "What the fuck are you going to do?" And they were still like trying to drag me down, tell me like, "Yo, bro, come, just play some video games with me and shit like that." And then school was over, and I never spoke to them again, right? And then 6 months later, so that's right, like 2 days ago, my friend sent me a message telling me like, "Oh, bro, we should meet up sometime because he wanted to start a business as well or something like that." And I'm like, "Fuck you, bro!" Like, I'm not even responding because what I learned is that people only reach out to me when they need me, right? Why would why would I then respond to you? So another thing I learned is that I feel like I became way more authentic. I don't know, but you get the you get the word right. But authentic. I just became way more myself, if that makes sense. I didn't wore. Stopped wearing like shit that I didn't really want to wear because everybody was wearing it or something like that. I wasn't. So for example, my sister, right? She had some, I don't know, some hoodie from a popular brand or something like that. It was like Susty or something like that. And I never heard of Susty before, bro. I'm not on fucking TikTok. I'm not on like Instagram or social Snapchat, all that shit. I'm not on there, right? So I don't know about fucking Susty or something like that. And she was like, "Bro, well, are you living under a rock or something? How can you not know Susty and stuff like that?" And I was like, "But what would be the reason that I would wear this thing?" Because it was just a normal hoodie with like a logo on it, right? And people spend I think the hoodie was like $120 or something like that. She got it on a discount, but still like 120 fucking dollars because you have the same hoodie like everybody else, but you have a logo on it. It's like when you start to think like that and you start to observe people a little bit more like that, you start to think like, oh shit, it's actually all these trends are a little bit weird. So for example, these Air Forces, right? I think they look good. I genuinely think they look good. So that's something I don't really have, for example, a problem with. That's something I would wear, right? But just a hoodie, like it's a oh shit, it's the same with daily paper, right? It's a fucking hoodie with like this small text on your chest, and you're like trying to, why are you buying it, if that makes sense? So that's what I learned as well. Like people, when you start to you become a little bit more in solitude, in isolation, and you start to observe like trends and people. You start to think like, why are people even buying these things? It's just branding. and it's fucking insane. In my eyes, it's insane, but it's also like kind of inspiring or something like that. That people pay like $50 to $100 more for the same hoodie just because there's a name on it. It's crazy. I am, and I stopped giving a fuck about things that I don't give a fuck about. If that makes sense. Like for like I people used to talk to me about like football and like games and other sports and stuff like that. I don't give a fuck about it, so why would I talk about it, right? I feel like I became like more authentic in the way I speak. So, for example, at my sales job, my boss always used to say like yes in a very weird way. Say yes, and then there was this other guy who was very good at sales as well, and he would ask, he would say yes in like the same way as my boss after a little while, right? He would say like yes. Then they would copy each other, and it was like a little bit in my mind, it was a little bit weird to see. And of course, back then it wasn't like purely like solitude or something like that, but I observed it and I was like, holy shit, why is this happening? Like, what is going on, right? And I think when you go into solitude a little bit, this starts to disappear, if that makes sense. I hope you get what I mean, Bob. I think you will speak more in a way that you actually want to speak and not just because somebody else is saying something in a specific way that you want to say something in that specific way right now as well. So, yeah, man, those are the things, those are the main things that I learned. And other things that I learned is, for example, people will always hate on you. Like, no matter what, like, people will always have an opinion on you. People will always think something about you, if that makes sense. People could literally advise you to do one thing, and if you start doing that thing, they will start to tell you that you made a wrong decision or something like that. It's weird how it works. Just I don't know, man. Like people always trying to kind of drag you down. I also realize that, for example, like friendships and stuff like that. It's you need to kind of benefit from each other. If that may, it, I don't know how to say this in another way, but friendships it's like you need to give and you need to receive as well. If you only start giving, then you don't want to be friends with the other guy. If you only receive, then the other guy doesn't want to be friends with you, if that makes sense. It's a trade-off. It's fucking weird. Like even if you're helping somebody, you want to get the feeling of feeling important and like actually helping people, so this makes you feel good and this is what you receive, right? And if you're then helping the other guy, of course he's going to get help, so he wants to be like friends with you as well, right? I think it's like a you need to be like you need to benefit, you need to mutually benefit or something like that, I don't know, but otherwise people will just so for example this is what I had in school, right? People just would sit next to me in school because they would have nobody else to sit beside, right? So then school was over, and then they didn't send me one message after that, right? And I didn't send them a message as well, right? So it's I'm not hating on them or something like that, but it's something to take notice of because now they didn't have to sit next to me anymore. So why would they still talk to me? I didn't play video games anymore. Like we used to play a lot of video games, but now I wasn't playing video games anymore. So that wasn't something that the fun I was giving them as well. So why would they still talk to me, right? I think everything is a mutual benefit thing. Every single relationship and stuff like that, it's all mutual benefit. You need to give and you need to receive as well. Something else I learned. Let me see if I learned something else. It's just the main thing that I learned was just becoming more authentic. Authentic, I don't know the word. Well, I just stopped giving a fuck about everything. I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want right now. It's beautiful, man. It's fucking beautiful. So yeah, man. I would highly recommend you to do this as well. I started like 6 months ago. I started like fucking dead as broke, right? I had like 5 subscribers on YouTube. I just started my YouTube channel. I had no business at all. Um, I basically had nothing, right? And right now, I'm making like $1,000 a month. Only in 6 months, bro. It's easy. You just gotta focus a little bit, and it's easy, bro. People overcomplicate it. You don't need 20 different business models and stuff like that. You need to focus on one and go all fucking in. All right, that's the last advice that I just want to give you. Yeah, man. I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, do everything. Join. I've got a free school community that you can join in the description. It's just where you can network with people like-minded people, all in self-improvement, all trying to make money and stuff like that. So I highly recommend you go there. You don't have to. I've got a couple of courses in there, couple of group coaching calls, and yeah, man, I will just answer your questions there. And I really hope to see you there because these community people have literally told me like, oh, these communities they're so good and stuff like that, and people start to make money because of the courses they're watching. It's amazing to see, man. So I hope to see you there as well. If not, that's fine as well. And I will see you in the next video.